All right, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave. All right, so let's move forward with this. We already know how popular the welterweight division is and how big this fight was for the division. We had a couple big fights this year with this division. Mikey Garcia against Spence was a big fight because of Mikey's name. I thought it was a mismatch. But we also did have Keith Thurman against Manny Pacquiao. Okay. Um, you got Bud versus Amir Khan. That's another fight that I didn't think it was a real big match, but that's what we got. That was with one of the champions. And now we got Errol Spence against Sean Porter, which is over now. And I think it's personally me, I think it's fight of the year. Okay. Some people are even saying that it's a welterweight classic and all that. I thought it was I think it's definitely a candidate for fight of the year. Okay. It was a great fight to me. And those two, it was my favorite fight that those two have been involved in. Okay, I think Keith Thurman against Sean Porter was a very, very, very close second, but definitely a great fight. Now, uh, I personally already said in my reviews that I think Sean Porter should get an immediate rematch. You know how the sanctioning bodies come out sometimes, and when a fight is really close, they're like, "We're ordering a rematch." I think they should do that. Um, I don't think they will do it, but I think they should do it. I think the fight was that close. It was that controversial. Regardless of how I feel, just the feedback alone. There's people that I respect, whether they're just YouTube channels or fans or boxers, trainers. People have different views on this fight. Just like the judges had different views on the fight. It's very funny when every once in a while I get comments about what the scoring criteria is and how judges score fights based on effective aggression, hard punching, defense, and ring generalship. You got to understand that, okay, yeah, you're bringing those points up that we already know. Duh. But you got to understand that this is a subjective, this is subjective, like you're not going to count every punch. You're not going to see every punch that lands clearly. And, ring generalship, things like defense, things like hard and effective punches. These are stuff that people debate and have difference in opinions. This is why there's three judges, and this is why the three judges usually are not dead even because everybody has a different view of the fight. Okay. Um, I've seen inaccurate punch stats. I've watched rounds where the punches are way off from what I'm seeing. And I'm not saying that I'm better at scoring fights than anybody else. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that we all view the fight different. I heard Keith Thurman said, and this could be part of his own bias, he scored it the first 5 rounds for Sean Porter. This is what I heard him say out of his mouth. I respect Keith Thurman. I think he's a lot more knowledgeable about boxing than I am. Obviously, he's a much more experienced boxer because he is a boxer, a world title fighter. I am not that. All right, but he's just one opinion, and his opinion was completely different from those three judges. And we can go on how everybody has a different view. When people try to come here and make it seem like their view is the absolute way the fight should have went down, that's crazy. That's when I don't even listen and pay attention to what you're saying anymore because everybody's gonna look at it a different way. Me and my dad argued throughout the whole fight about who was winning. We just saw the fight completely different because that's how boxing is. It's not like basketball where we watch a basketball go into a hoop and we know that this is a 2 pointer or a 3 pointer or a free throw. It's not like that. You know? It's totally not like that. Boxing is different. All right. Boxing is regulated different. It's scored differently. And a lot of it is based on opinion because it's you can't it's no stop and instant replay. Even the commentary, there sometimes they say things that are not happening at all that I totally disagree with. Sometimes they're not sure if it's a clash of headbutts when we get a cut, or was it a punch? Sometimes they can't even find, even when they go back and review the round, they can't tell where the cut actually came from. Okay, so this is the world of boxing. All right, so I believe that this should be a rematch. That's just my opinion. All right, but if Manny Pacquiao says I want Spence next, I'm not expecting Spence to go and fight Sean Porter again, because that's Manny Pacquiao, and that's the fight that everybody at welterweight wants. All right, that's the fight that everybody would take over any other fight, is Manny Pacquiao. Whether or not you think that that is the toughest fight or not, that's that's the goal for every welterweight, every active welterweight. Okay, um, so let's get into Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao should take the fight with Spence. Okay, um, after his performance against Keith Thurman, all right, whether that was the best Keith, or I'm not going to get into any of that. I spoke on all on that on previous videos and stuff. Manny Pacquiao won the fight against Keith Thurman. I thought he won. There was a few people think there that, they thought the fight was a draw. They thought that Keith won enough rounds on the back end of that fight to secure a draw, or some even said that they thought Keith Thurman won. I thought Manny Pacquiao won the fight. I think the knockdown um, secured him the win without a doubt. I do think Keith did rally strong in the second half of the fight, but I also think that Pacquiao had that strong 10th round when he hurt Keith Thurman to the body. Also, I just think Manny Pacquiao won, and for a 40-year-old fighter, I was, even though I thought that he would win the fight, I was very shocked at how good he looked. You know, this little dude, Manny Pacquiao, is crazy because he's sitting here getting hit by Thurman a lot. Thurman did land a lot of punches towards Manny Pacquiao. And the fact that this guy was laughing and smiling while Thurman was hitting, I mean, Thurman, this is a guy that used to knock everyone out before he started fighting the very elite of the division. And Manny Pacquiao sitting there smiling and laughing. Same thing with Jeff Horn. When they were fighting each other. And I know it's Jeff Horn, whatever. It's just Jeff Horn now. But Pacquiao struggled a little bit in that fight, because of some of the dirty tactics, because of Jeff Horn and his physical strength, the bullying and manhandling of Manny Pacquiao. Even though most people would agree that Manny Pacquiao should have won the fight, I think that Jeff Horn did okay against Manny Pacquiao. I don't think it was just a highway robbery like most people think. I think Manny Pacquiao won the fight, but I also believe that, uh, Bud really beat down Jeff Horn, while the fight with Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao was a very competitive one. Okay. Um, but I think Manny Pacquiao should do it because what if he wins? He might still win. Like, why not? Why not do it? What do you have to lose at this point in your career? You know, um, I don't know if he's gonna go and fight Danny Garcia. I don't know if he's gonna fight Mikey Garcia. I don't know what Manny Pacquiao's gonna do. You know, but I don't think this is like some big risk for him. Like, this is a chance he could win this fight. And there's many people that believe that he would win this fight, especially after this performance. Why not go for it? The kid, Errol Spence has 2 titles now. You have one. Now, why not go for it? Like, what the hell? At this point in your career, you already beat Keith Thurman. You know? Why not go for it? Why not? Like, you fight Mikey Garcia. Why I want it over Mikey is because Mikey hasn't done anything at 147. All right, he's had one fight at 140 for a title. He didn't even fight the best title holder at 140, which was Sergey Lipinets. Okay, and I like him. It's just that he fought that guy at 140, went down to 135, then went back up to 140. You know, um, why not just fight? Why not just fight Spence? Spence destroyed Mikey Garcia. I mean, outpointed him every round in that fight. Why fight the guy that just lost to Spence? What's the point of that? Now I know Mikey has a name and everything, but Mikey hasn't fought since he lost to Spence. And Mikey hasn't done anything at welterweight to begin with. Like I just said. So listen, Manny Pacquiao can do whatever he wants to do. He can do whatever he wants. His legacy is already solidified. You know, who am I to sit here and tell what Manny Pacquiao? I'm just saying, why not just go for Spence? Go for it. Like, I don't think the pay-per-view, if they're trying to make this about a name and pay-per-view thing, everybody saw what Spence did to Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia's fans know what Errol Spence is capable of. So why not just go straight for Spence? Why don't you go for the guy that beat Mikey Garcia? You know what I'm saying? I that's just the way I view it. You know? Uh I don't know. I think as far as them actually fighting, I would pick Spence to win only because even though Manny is still very effective later in the later rounds, I just think Spence would be too much. Okay, I think Spence's 12th round is gonna look like his second or third round. He's gonna be that busy in there still. That's why I don't know if youth is gonna come into play at some point. It wasn't as effective for Keith Thurman. You know, I don't know if that had to do with him being so inactive for so long. I don't know if maybe he's not the same fight. Maybe he's is past his prime. I don't know, or maybe that Manny Pacquiao was just a better fighter overall. Maybe there's no excuses for that. But Spence is fresh. Spence is active, and Spence has great conditioning, and he can fight very well. I mean, even against Sean Porter, I gave Spence the last 2 rounds. Sean Porter is a guy that we never see tired, but I felt like Spence was outworking him in those final 2 rounds. I think that would be an issue for Manny Pacquiao. But I also believe that Manny Pacquiao might be outboxing Spence early on. Okay? Um, Manny Pacquiao is very difficult to prepare for. I think a lot of his opponents are always surprised of how fast he is. They're never really ready for Big Manny until they're in the ring with him, and you have to adjust to him. Nobody really starts out good against Manny. You know, not many people have. So I think Manny should just go for it. It would be a great win, a much better win. I know he's just trying to, make big money fights at this point in his career, which is cool. And I respect that. But go for Spence, man. Just go for it. It's not like you can't beat this kid. You might be able to. Go for it. Anyway, Danny Garcia. Uh I like Danny Garcia, and I think the fight with Spence would be good. Danny's always dangerous because he's very, very durable. He might be one of the most durable guys in boxing, period, pound for pound. Also, Danny punches very, very hard. Okay, I think he's the only one at welterweight that can really change a fight in one punch at any given time. You know, I know Keith Thurman beat him. I also know that Sean Porter beat him. Okay, Sean Porter has a granite chin. I know he got dropped against Broner. I know he got dropped against Spence. But this guy, and even Thurman buckled him a few times in that fight. Sean Porter recovers extremely well. We seen him hurt, we seen him down, but he recovers like that. If you drop him or if you rock him and buckle him, you only got like 2 seconds to do some damage because he recovers so quickly. All right. Danny Garcia is a big puncher, uh, and he's gonna be dangerous for Spence, especially if they exchange and trade. If Spence fights Danny Garcia's fight, he can end up getting hurt. I don't know how good Spence's chin is, but it seems to be solid to me. I seen him hold his own against Kell Brook, who has a solid KO ratio. I seen him hold well against Sean Porter, who is not the biggest puncher in the world, but Porter was landing some big shots in there. All right, rocked him a couple of times. Um, I seen Porter. The only time I seen Spence hurt was against I can't think of the name of the fighter he fought earlier in his career when he got hurt in the end of the round and walked towards. He was staggering a little work. I can't remember his name. You guys correct me in the comments. Let me know. Um, Larte, Larte. All right, Larte hurt Spence bad. That's the only fighter that I ever seen hurt Spence. And Spence wasn't really fully recovered in the following round. But that's a fight Spence won, and that's a fight much earlier in his career. He's got much better than that. Um, but anyway, it's not a bad fight at all. You know, uh, I don't mind the fight, but the thing is, I would take the Porter rematch over that because Porter beat Danny, and I think Spence can do some of the things that he did against Mikey and Lamont Peterson in order to beat Danny. Okay, I don't think Danny's style. I think Porter's. No one really looks good against Porter, you know. But I think Spence would look good against Danny. All right. Um, that's just my personal Opinion. Another thing too, for these people that always want to bring up Bud and how Bud really didn't do anything at welterweight. Well, he didn't do anything at welterweight because no one wants to fight him. Okay. If he does go on to fight Danny Garcia, just know that he missed out on a shot of unifying with another champion at welterweight instead of actually, just to fight Danny Garcia, a guy that did nothing at welterweight. And now, when I say did nothing at welterweight, Danny Garcia has a great resume, without a doubt. But at welterweight, he didn't accomplish more than Bud did. Okay, the two best fighters that he fought at welterweight beat him. Sean Porter and Keith Thurman both beat Danny Garcia. All right. In between that, he fought a Paulie Malignaggi, Brandon Rios, and Adrian Granados. Those are not elite fighters at welterweight. And that's no disrespect to Paulie Malignaggi, because I like Paulie a lot. All right. But Paulie was past his prime, way past his prime at that point, and Paulie was no elite welterweight at that time. All right. So you picked up a title at welter. I believe he beat Paulie Malignaggi to pick up that title. Okay. Um, you lost your title defense against Keith Thurman in a unification match. So you got a title opportunity at welterweight because you held the title at 140. Moved up, didn't take the belt from the champion, but fought for the title. Then lost to the unification match against Keith Thurman. All right, fight Brandon Rios. Then fight again for the title against Sean Porter. All right, um, and then which was another vacant title. All right, and then beat Adrian. He lost that fight and then beat Adrian Granados. But people will sit here and talk about Bud when Bud stopped the three guys he faced: Jeff Horn, Benavidez, and Amir Khan. Stopped all three. You know, what do you want the man to do if nobody wants to fight him in the division? You know, it's just like Errol. Errol, at one point, no one wanted to fight him. And what did people say about Errol? Well, he has nobody on his resume. At one point, he didn't. Before he fought Kell Brook, who did he have on his resume? People were claiming he was this and that, but who did he have on his resume? You know, he had some solid wins like Bundu and Algieri, but who did he have? But Danny, Thurman, Porter, these guys wouldn't give him a shot. Now you got Danny stepping into the ring to call him out. Everybody never didn't have anyone on their resume until they fought someone. So yes, we like to looking at somebody's resume and bringing it up in a debate is important. We can't ignore a resume. But these PBC guys in interviews are clearly stating our eyes are not on Crawford right now. He's on the other side of the street. You know, even Spence is saying it. It's not like Spence is sitting here saying, I'm trying to make the fight with Crawford. He's saying that he's like, well, Crawford needs me. I don't really need him. This is what he's saying. And fans are co-signing this shit. But if he fights Danny Garcia, he's not going to receive any criticism from his fanboys. But what did Danny do at welterweight? He did a lot at 140. But Crawford was undisputed at 140. I mean, after Danny left, Terrence Crawford took over. You know? But what did he do at welterweight? Well, he doesn't even hold a title. Forget what he do. He doesn't even hold a title right now. What, he beats Adrian Granados and now he deserves a shot? Beating Granados and Brandon Rios? No, like, this guy is sitting here with a damn title. And he's undefeated. So, I don't have a problem as far as the fight itself. It's not a bad fight. It's just the timing is off right now. Danny hasn't done anything special to me. You know, I think knocking out Granados was a good win. Yes. Yes, you beat him worse than Broner did and Sean Porter did. But yo, all right, that's Adrian Granados. And that's no disrespect to him because he's a good fighter. But let's be real. He's not an elite welterweight. He's not. Danny hasn't beaten a top welterweight. He's lost to two of them. Everybody else at least beaten an elite. Everybody in the top 7 or so beat someone that meant something at some point. Spence beat Kell Brook. Just won Sean Porter. Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia. He's beaten Berto. He's beaten everybody outside of Keith Thurman and Kell Brook. Kell Brook beat Sean Porter. Manny Pacquiao, I don't need to bring him up. He beat a whole lot of people. Okay? Everybody else got big wins except Danny Garcia. But no one's going to say anything if he fights Danny. You know? I like Danny, but I'm saying as far as the elite, he's the bottom of the elite. He is elite without a doubt. Not getting crazy here, but at the top elite fighters, he's at the bottom to me, as far as resume. So when people keep bringing up resume, I'm like, dude, Bud was undisputed and moved up. He was the man at 135. He was undisputed at 140. And he has a title at 147. What more does he need? He's more than credible for a fight with anyone at welterweight. What are people talking about? All right? So, listen. I would like the rematch. I would like, in this order, I would like the rematch. Well, I would like the Bud fight more than anything. Okay, the Bud fight should be #1 priority, but Manny Pacquiao is #1 priority. But the Bud fight is that's that's the diehard fight. All right, let's be real. Let's be real. Like the diehards, the real boxing dudes, want to see Crawford against Spence. I say that's my #1. All right, #2 would be Manny Pacquiao. Okay, #2 is that. #3 is Sean Porter rematch. And then #4, I'll put Danny Garcia. Since Danny Garcia's name is in the mix, I'll put him. But to be honest with you, I'd rather see Spence fight a Keith Thurman over Danny. Why not? We're not going to happen because Keith ain't trying to fight. So I'm not bringing his name up. But I'm just saying there's other people that I would rather see fight Spence over Danny Garcia. But I do think the Danny Garcia fight would be a good fight. It would be a good fight. But I would pick Spence to win that one. But it's a dangerous fight too. All right, so anyway, that's how I feel about as far as the opponents and everything for Spence and what he should do coming up. I'm not gonna do a separate video on Sean. I want to keep it simple. Sean Porter, if he doesn't get the fight and rematch, which I don't think he will, I'm just throwing it out there that I want to see. I don't think he will actually get it, but Sean Porter, I think he should try to work on fighting someone that he lost to. Okay, he should go for Spence. He should push that. But if he doesn't get that, try to go for a Kell Brook rematch. Try to go for a Keith Thurman rematch. I don't think anyone is really interested in fighting Sean Porter again, especially if they got a W over him. It's just like who would want to fight Sean Porter? It's just a different type of fight, man. It's like one of the hardest fights you're gonna ever have in your life. You know, uh, win or lose, it's just you're gonna leave there looking messed up. Your body is gonna be probably sore as hell because you gotta worry about the punches and then you gotta worry about all the physical everything, the wrestling, the rabbit punches, the elbows, the headbutts. You gotta worry about a whole bunch of stuff. I think Sean should really go for a rematch though with one of these guys if he can make it happen. If not, then you know, um, there's other fights that could be made out there. Um, Also Ugas, Jesse Vargas. Maybe they're not the very elite, but they're like right under those guys. I want to say elite. We got Spence, we got Bud, we got Pacquiao. Right, those are 3 title holders. And outside of them elite fighters, you got Danny Garcia, you got Keith Thurman, and then you got Sean Porter. Right. So you got those 3 champs. Then you got Thurman, Garcia, and Porter. You got Kell Brook still. Okay, even though he hasn't really been that active, you still got Kell Brook. Can't leave him out. And then right under them, I would probably say, and if I'm not forgetting anyone, I'd probably be saying Ugas and Jesse Vargas, who's also always a good fight. Jesse Vargas is always a good fight. I know he got a couple losses, draws, whatever, but he's still always gonna be a tough fight for anyone. All right. And Ugas, I would love to see him with another elite fighter, because I think most people, well, there's a lot of people that think he actually beat Sean Porter. All right, so yeah, I think I wrapped it up. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Uh, Drop your comments. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys donate. All right, and check out the other videos. And see you guys in the next one. Peace.